Everybody has secrets. What's a secret that you have always kept for yourself? I was in high school and I would occasionally start to hear things repeating back to me in my head. Sometimes I'd look around and whatnot to see if something funny was going on. I started playing music to make it go away. That worked for a month or two, but then it stopped working and I would hear weird stuff in my brain. It was kinda like voices in my head but indistinct whisperings. It was getting a little bit worse slowly. One day I came home from school and fell asleep on the couch. I woke up at some point and moved to my bed and fell back asleep. I slept for basically 24 hours straight, missing school the next day. The voices haven't come back since. I had that after missing 2 straight nights of sleep, but heard a person talking through a radio. Creepy but somehow also cool. I wondered how this voice could have independent thoughts through me. I actually never thought I'd live to be this old. I've never considered killing myself or anything, but I also just figured something would happen before I got out of high school. It all feels like very uncharted territory. I used to have nightmares about dying at the age of 26. It was a legit fear with these recurring, haunting feelings. I don't know how or why. I'm 27 now, so f you, brain. Are you sure that you're 27? Honestly, no. When I was a kid I once poured out the apple juice out of carton and replaced it with orange juice. How do you even live with yourself? You monster. Laziness is the only thing stopping me from doing a lot of bad things. Preach. Nice try, Dad. How many times do I need to tell you that I did not scratch your car? There was one time I had 2 gallons of distilled water under the underside of my shopping cart. I also had about $200 worth of other items in my cart and a screaming 2-year-old. I paid for the $200 worth of items, then went to my car, got my son loaded in, then started loading groceries. I noticed the 2 gallons and remembered I forgot to pay for them. I said fuck it and threw them in the trunk as well. Whoa there, Nestle. That's exactly how I got my Christmas tree. I pooped out of the top of a tree once, wiped my ass on one of my socks, left the sock in the tree, then climbed down using the non-poopy branches, got on my bike and rode home. I secretly imagine what a guy's penis looks like. I fill my head with details, then kinda lose focus for a second. After this question being on Reddit for 6 hours, I'm sure you now have a good idea. If you are a girl, most guys would have no problem helping you move that from fantasy to reality. If you are a guy, you are still in luck, although with a much smaller proportion of guys. I wanna fuck about 90% of the legal population, so long as they ask and are nice. 90%? I highly doubt that. There are a shit ton of ugly people in the world. A hole is a hole. I have an aversion to jewelry. It just freaks me out. I've never even worn a watch. I worry about when I get married because I won't want to wear a wedding band. There is no rule saying you have to wear a wedding band. My dad has been married to my mom for 24 years and I have never seen him wear a wedding band. Although he does have a legitimate reason for it, since he was doing some kind of work and the ring was so bent out of shape he couldn't wear it anymore. I haven't been to the dentist in about 5 years and don't plan on going anytime soon because it scares me so much and I don't want them to shame me for not going in so long. Also afraid of what they'll find. I was in the same boat last year. I sucked it up and went and it wasn't so bad. Dentists want you to have nice teeth, so most should be nice about it. It's a secret. I'm the guy at parties that gets a little tipsy and changes the direction of your toilet paper roll on the holder. I don't care which direction you prefer it. My carnage cares not for your preferences. Phew, good to get that off my chest. People tell me that I'm kind of intimidating, always confident and rational. But in actual, I have this inferiority complex to people whom I think has legit skills and talent than what I have. How big? To the point that I don't want to pursue, maybe just now, my dream of becoming a journalist because of countless rejections from my applications last year. But I really want to save money, get back to school to take masters or at least some teaching units to teach senior high/college kids in my alma mater. That I never kissed a girl, even though I had about a million chances to do it. The reason is probably because I just have too high standards and because of the type of people in my hood I spent time with when I was 12 to 13. Those people were literally discouraging me in any way and laughing at me if I wanted anything that was a bit harder to get or if it was just that only I was hyped about. This made me become unpleasant and awkward to any girl that wanted to talk to me during that time, mostly to prove all those people I spent time with that I'm not getting interested into those girls, because getting excited about being with them or just talking to them would mean that those situations happen very rarely to me, which leads to a conclusion that I'm a loser, or because they would just laugh at me. During that time, I didn't know that those people/friends were fools, which had horrible consequences. Now, 4 years later, I am very unsure of myself and scared of being rejected, yet there is no people around who would laugh if that happens, and I don't have many opportunities to meet female people. My new friends, who are much better people and who tend to help, all had a girlfriend, and even though we know everything about one another, that is just one thing I'm keeping for myself. You've broken free from that environment, yeah, which is good. You've learned an infinite amount of information and social awareness and intelligence in that time. Be true to yourself. Are you doing that? It sounds like you are. You're, what, 17 to 18? That's not that old. I had loads and loads of female attention from literally 5 years old, but batted it back, didn't kiss a girl until I was 15, and didn't properly kiss someone until 16. Yeah, you're a touch older, but it doesn't sound like it's coming from a lack of opportunity, even now. To know how much this is weighing on your mind, but hiding things is never good, although I get what it's like to be that age and insecure. At any age, we want to hide things we'd rather people didn't know. But, try to get over it the best you can, and the best way is probably to actually just do it. If it isn't getting you down, no worries. But if it is, bottling things up is literally what causes minor situations to become really bad. Fuck knows if that applies to you, but good luck. Nice try, FBI. Not today, CIA. I'm the one what sent that nice anonymous message to my friend because she was feeling depressed. I'm sorry, but I couldn't tell her it was me because she looked so happy the next day, explaining how this person seemed to care about her. Whenever I'm walking downstairs and there are people in front me, I get an urge to kick them down. It could, but though I'm a nice person and would never intentionally harm anyone without perfect reason, or blind rage, especially when it's people my age. When I started jerking it, we didn't have no locks on our doors, so I had to jerk it while talking a dump. So yeah, I got addicted to my own stink and couldn't get a boner unless I was shitting. Farts sometimes too. About 20 years ago, a friend of my husband carried a gun, and zero question it was not registered. He claimed he killed a man. I didn't know him. I knew his name though. We saw on the local news that night or the next day. They named this very man. We kept that deep inside. My husband had to continue to hang around, just for a short while after that, to make sure he wouldn't be suspected as turning to the police. We never called the cops. We were too scared. Yikes. I had sex with a girlfriend's best friend while my GF slept in the next room. We were all drunk and my GF passed out. Next day she told me she had a dream, blank, and I had sex. I laughed it off and she never brought it up again. I had sex with the friend a few more times over the next few months. After we broke up, I found out she was f***ing someone too, so I guess I got my karma. LMAO, it worked out in the end, I guess. I'm black. Can you please explain more in detail? He has a lot of melanin. Stop the car. One night when I was young, maybe like 8 or 9, I don't know, I was down in our garage just messing around. I liked to go through the scrap wood and make things, paint, and just hang out there like it was my own little workshop. My parents always let me be alone, no problems. That night it was already dark, maybe 9 or 10 p.m., I remember seeing somebody in a striped polo approach the garage door, the one for humans. It had a glass window unlike the car doors. I thought it was my neighbor friend BC. We lived out in the country and he was the only one who ever stopped by. I waved and headed to the door but suddenly realized it wasn't him. I didn't see a face, but whoever it was quickly retreated into the dark and I stood there petrified. I went back upstairs to the family room post haste where my folks were watching TV and never mentioned it to anyone until now. Needless to say, I kept my garage workshop hours to the daytime from then on.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like and subscribe. Comment down your thoughts and I'll see you next time.